Hi friends, I'm so happy to see you again for writing. Today is Wednesday, April 22nd, and we are going to edit our writing today. So we yesterday revised our writing to make sure it was high quality, and today we're going to edit. So these two skills, revising and editing, are both very important to the writing process, and they're kind of similar, but they're just a little bit different. So yesterday we worked on things like making sure that our writing taught something and making sure that we had transition words and making sure that all of our sentences were related to the topic, okay, right? So today, editing is just a little bit different. So we're gonna go into the difference and we're going to learn about how to do it. So if you have not completed the lessons before today, I need you to go back, pause me now, and go back and finish those lessons and then come and meet us here to edit your writing. It's very important that you go in order, as I've been saying to you every day so far, okay? So let's get started. Here's our target for, no, not our target. Here is our list of materials for today. You need your computer or your tablet or your phone, whatever you're listening and watching on. You need your how-to writing. Again, I know you know how to get to it by now. If you have any trouble, let me know. And you need your editing checklist, which I will again attach to your Google Classroom. And the last and most important thing is that you need a positive, ready to learn attitude. Okay, here we go. Here are some vocabulary words that I need you to know. I need you to know the word edit, and I need you to know what transition words are. So quickly, I'll go over transition words one more time. But if you need more information on these, I want you to pause and go back to yesterday's video. So transition words tell the order of events, or in this case, the order of steps in our how-to writing. So transition words are words like first, then, next, last, finally, after that. So they're words that tell when something happens, okay? Now, the word edit, we're gonna touch base on in just a second. Here's our learning target. I'm gonna say it, and then you say it, like repeat after me type thing. Okay, I can edit my writing using a checklist. Good, so what does that word edit mean? It means to prepare for publishing by correcting errors. So you know, I know you know the word publishing is when you finally have that perfect, or not perfect, but that really amazing final copy of your writing, and it's got pictures, and it's got, the writing is very neat, and it's, the sentences are high quality. So preparing for publishing by correcting errors. So editing is when you go through your writing and you try to fix any mistakes or try to make sure that all of your sentences are written properly like a second grade scholar would do, okay? So here is the editing checklist that we're going to use today. So I want to talk about each of these things one by one and how we're going to check them through the computer and through video and online writing, because we're used to editing. You know, we take a red colored pencil and we circle our mistakes and then we fix them, but we can't do that right now, right? You can do it at your house, but then I can't see it unless you send me a picture. So we're gonna learn how to edit something digitally and what exactly that means. So I know that you all have practiced typing throughout our writing learning in the last 2 weeks, the last 3 weeks, I guess now, and I need you to really try your best to apply those skills here. If you think you need practice with typing, friends, go on to Typing Club, and if you don't know how to log into that, just let me or Missy Schley, Miss Hartzell, or Miss B know, and we can get you hooked up onto Typing Club, okay? Anyway, here are the things we're looking for when we edit our writing today. The first one says, start each sentence with a capital letter. Again, we talked about this. And the same with the second one, end each sentence with correct punctuation. We went through and spent a whole writing lesson a couple of weeks ago on each of those things. So go through your writing. You need to literally, friends, check every single sentence to make sure that it has those two things, correct capitalization and punctuation. So at the beginning of your sentence, a capital letter. A name is capital, a place is capital, right? But there's no capital letters in the middle of words and no capital letters really in the middle of sentences unless it's a place or a name, right? You need to make sure each sentence ends with correct punctuation. So if you're not asking a question, there should be no question mark, right? If it's the end of your thought, it needs a period or a question mark or an exclamation. And that's really important because that helps people read your writing more fluently. Okay. The next thing says use your word wall and a dictionary to spell tricky words. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't have a word wall in my house. Do you? Maybe you do, that'd be cool. But if you don't, friends, I'm gonna attach to Google Classroom the word wall that we use in our class, the one that we have at our desk. So you can check back for any high frequency words on that word wall. Another thing you can do is ask a family member or an older sibling, maybe, how to spell certain words that are tricky for you. Now, if you can't read the word, neither can I, neither can Miss Hartzell, Miss B, or Miss D. Chalet. So you need to make sure that you can read all of the words on your typing, okay? So make sure they're spelled at least so that you can tell what they are, okay? Which leads me into the next one. The fourth one here says, read all my sentences again to make sure they were complete and made sense. Now, what happens in school sometimes, I've noticed with second graders, friends, is that you say you're editing, and you do, and you go through and you check some sentences, you fix some things, and then you say, Miss Deacon, I'm done. But you really have to take your time. You really have to spend a good 20, 25 minutes going through every single sentence and checking these things off. Now, this means you might be reading the same page a few times, like 4 or 5 times, first to check for capital letters, and then read it another time to check for punctuation, and then another time to check for spelling, and another time to check for your sentences being complete. So don't rush this. Let it take you a while, okay? It's okay to spend a lot of time publishing your writing. That's what makes it great. All right, friends, the last thing on this checklist is that you use your neatest handwriting. Now, again, we're on the computer. So are we using handwriting at all? Not really, but there are some things that you can check when you're typing to make sure it looks neat. So for example, you want to make sure all your font is in black. That's very professional and high quality. You want to make sure your font is all the same size. You don't have big and small letters, that you put only one space between your words, things like that, okay? And I know those are new things because we've never really had to worry about things like that before, because we always write with our hands and we know how to make neat handwriting by writing slow, and this is just a little different, but that's okay. All right, I want you to look at these two sentences with me and tell me which one is well written, which one would check all the yes boxes on this checklist, and which one needs some editing, okay? So this top one up here says, first, make sure you draw a big square. Second, add a triangle to the top of the square. Was that well written? Think about it. The second one says, first, make sure you draw a big square. Second, add a triangle to the top of the square. So point to the one that's more well written. What do you think? Did you point to the bottom one? Because that one is definitely more well written. Look at the capital letter at the beginning, the very first letter, and at the beginning of the next sentence, right? This does not have that. The one at the top has some words misspelled, like sure, big, triangle, and then there's some weird punctuation. Why are there exclamation points after the word the? So if I were going to go through and edit that, I would have a lot of things to fix, okay? So friends, I'm going to put you over onto my iPad so that I can show you how I would edit a paragraph, okay? Now I'm going to use my pencil, but you can do the same thing on your Chromebook or on your tablet, okay? So I'm going to just give me 1 second to get there. Please hold. We're going to there. We're going to go here. Thank you for waiting, my friends. We are having a little bit of technical difficulties, but that's okay. All right, friends, I am back and I am ready to edit with you. So here we have a paragraph, the one that I just showed you, but a little different. First, I'm going to read it to you, and then I'm going to show you how I would edit it. So it says, first, be sure to draw a big square. Next, add a triangle to the top of the square. After that, add 2 square windows to the square. All right, so the first thing on my checklist, it said to check for capital letters at the beginning of a sentence. So I know that the very first sentence is right here. So I'm going to cross out that lowercase f, make it a capital. And I'm going to read to find where my next sentence starts. First, be sure to draw a big square. Next, add, oh, so this is the beginning of my next sentence. Next, add a triangle to the top of the square. After, this is the beginning of my next sentence, so that needs to be a capital. That, add 2 square windows to the square. Okay, cool. I got my capital letters. Next is punctuation. I need a period at the end of each sentence. First, be sure to draw a big square, period. Next, add a triangle to the top of the square. That's not a question. I need a period. After that, add 2 square windows to the square. There is a period there. Good. Now I need to go back and I need to check for spelling, right? First, be sure. Now I know from looking at my word wall that sure is spelled like this. 2. That's not the right type of 2. That's the number 2. Draw a big, now maybe you text your friends like that, but that's not how we spell big. Big square. Next, add a triangle. Now, I asked my mom and she told me that you spell triangle like this. Triangle. To the top. Why is that capitalized? That should be lowercase. Of the square. After, I checked that on my word wall. That, add 2 square windows. Windows? No. Again, I asked somebody in my house and they told me that you spell windows like this, to the square. Now, you're going to be typing those changes and that's totally fine too. And that's how you're going to edit your paragraph. You're going to check for all of those things. Let me flip back to the screen. All right, so we edited together. Now I want to remind you that your target is to edit your writing using a checklist. Now make sure you look through all of your writing, all the pages, and edit them. I'm gonna look through them for you too, and if I see any things that I want you to edit again, I will let you know, friends, okay? So when you finish doing this, can you comment done so I know to go and check your work, please? All right, buddies, I love you so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Remember to make your writing super, super high quality, okay? Love you lots, and have a great rest of your day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.